Hello everyone, Serinda here. How are you all doing? Tell me, have any of you ever forgotten to bring your lunch to school? What happened? Maybe your mum or dad had to take it down to school, or maybe the school gave you a dinner. Well, we are going to hear about a boy and his lunch in this true story from the Bible. So, many people were coming to Jesus and his disciples. They were very busy teaching and helping people. Jesus said to them, "Let's go somewhere quiet and get a rest." So they got into a boat to go to a quiet place. But crowds of people followed them. They wanted to hear what Jesus had to say. They also brought all their sick friends and family for Jesus to make them better. How many people go to your school? Well, imagine more than 10 times that many men, plus more women and children. That's how many people were there listening to Jesus. As the day went on and it began to get late, everyone started to feel tired and hungry. Imagine all the whinging and moaning. No one had brought any food, and there was no KFC, McDonald's or Burger King just around the corner back then. They were in the middle of nowhere. What would they do? Jesus' friends had an idea. Send them all home for dinner. But Jesus said, they don't need to go home. You can give them something to eat. Jesus' friends panicked. They were very far from any shops and they didn't have enough money to buy all these people food. What on earth was Jesus thinking? Jesus asked them, "What food do you have?" Now remember the boy I mentioned at the start. Well, his mum had made him a packed lunch that morning. 5 small loaves and 2 fishes. How on earth would that feed so many people? Anyway, it doesn't matter because the boy said, "No way, I'm not sharing my lunch." No, he didn't. He happily gave it to the disciples. They laughed when they saw his little lunch and said that it was nowhere near enough to feed all these people. But do you know what? They were totally wrong. Jesus said, "Bring me what you have." And the little boy gave it willingly over to Jesus. How in the world will he feed all these people with this small lunch, the disciples thought. But Jesus knew the one who made everything and everyone in this world out of nothing. How hard would it be to feed over 5,000 people compared to that? Jesus took the little boy's lunch and thanked God for it. Then he gave it back to his disciples to hand out to the crowds. Do you know what happened? The disciples started to divide up the lunch, and no matter how much they broke off, there was always more. Everyone ate as much as they wanted, seconds, thirds, fourths, until they were stuffed, and still there were 12 baskets of leftovers. You know what, boys and girls? Jesus took that little boy's lunch and he performed a miracle. Jesus can use boys and girls just like you to do amazing and wonderful things. All you have to do is be willing to let Jesus work through you. You aren't ever too little to make a difference. Just you remember when you feel too small or not very important or superhero-like, God thinks you're absolutely out of this world fantastic and is ready to use you to help him. This little boy helped feed over 5,000 people. What will you do with God's help?